So for the DevOps, there is no dedicated call for the DevOps, but like the Wednesday we have the meeting of the Mesri website, Mesri development call, and where we cover those DevOps stuff as well.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and also, so towards the end, I'll be sharing a meeting calendar where you can find all the other meetings that we have as well. So thank you, Amit, for answering that question. So hi, everyone. I welcome you to weekly websites meeting. This call is particularly for all the sites that we have our design system assistant, and any UI UX changes around that, including docs too. So we'll be going through the agenda items one by one. We'll be covering them, and hopefully the authors are present on the call. If not, we'll try to take a look at their PR, and if there's any feedback, we'll let them know. So this call is right now being live streamed to YouTube, and if you want to catch up with any particular section or the entire call, you can do that through the recording of the live stream. Again, the YouTube link where you will find that is in the header of the docs. So what I will do, share the link of the YouTube channel quickly. And let me also share this meeting minutes. So you all can write your name as attendees and also your issues, open issues and PRs that you're working on and need help or any feedback. So that would be right place to add it now. So before we get started, we will be following our tradition, and that is if you're joining this call for the very first time, you can unmute yourself and give a quick intro, irrespective of whether you have joined any others call. If this is the very first time that you're on this particular call, unmute yourself and let us know about you, like what's the technology that you're working on and any detail that you would want us to know. I think it's first time that Mercy is joining the website's call. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, please go ahead. Welcome to the call.
Okay, sorry. Good afternoon. I'm Messi, and I think I joined Marshall last 2 weeks or thereabouts. I'm more in touch. I'm more particularly interested in Kubernetes and DevOps, distributed system in general. So I was hoping to get a more precise approach because I was kind of lost in the entire website and I don't know which particular GitHub or repo to contribute to. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. So if your area of focus lies around any front end or sites, definitely as we'll be covering the updates, you will be getting some sites that you can contribute to. And by the way, I'm sure that you also know about repository overview, where we have all the sites and other projects listed along with their text framework. So I think that will also help you determine which project to contribute to. If not, I'll quickly take that link and we'll share in chat. So thanks for your introduction and thank you for joining the call. Next up, if this is the very first time that you're joining Site's call, Tapelo, if I'm really sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. So you can unmute and let us know whether or not it's the right way to do it, and also about you. So you can go next.
Hello guys, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm having a bit of some internet issues, so I'm using my mobile. So yeah, I found out about Mesher, I think a few weeks ago. While I was busy with Docker, Kubernetes, stuff like that, deployments. Mostly interested in both the back end and the front end, and yeah, I think I'm still setting up my system and stuff like that, and then having a look at the projects that are available in the community, and then I'll pick one that I feel like I'll be able to add value. I'm also planning to learn Go, as I've noticed that some of the the tools that we use is the Golang. So yeah, that's me. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for your introduction, and yeah, like we are also very, glad to have you in the community. So once again, thank you for joining the call. Next
Thanks.
up, I'll just quickly ask if this is the very first time that, Ishan is joining this call. If yes, can you please go next?
Hi Vishal, this is the second time I've been joining the website's weekly call. Yeah, but I'll go
Yeah, okay.
ahead with.
Thanks a lot for confirming.
So, hello everyone, myself Ishan, and I'm a full stack developer with and currently learning Go and Rust as well on the side. So I've been exploring Meshery a lot quite recently, and yeah, I've been looking for some issues to solve.
Great. So I think at this point, it's important to mention that this call will be, discussing about sites. So, but like if you are looking for areas like, CI/CD pipelines or, more DevOps centric, or let's say Golang items that you can work on, we have other projects meeting that you would want to join. And so we'll be, talking about calendar and how you can catch up with those meetings. In fact, we are right now also preparing agenda items for those calls. And if you have any discussion in topic that you want to discuss, or if you just want to get assigned to any issue and you need help, you also can get them listed in the particular meeting minutes. So that way, anyone who is hosting, they can facilitate you with any clarification that you would want to. Particularly right now, like this week, we have CI/CD meeting that happens on second and fourth Thursday every month. And CI maintainer Sangram is looking for ideas on that call. So if you want to jump in, you for sure can help with creation of the agenda item for CI/CD meeting. That would include end-to-end testing and anything that you see in the community around CI. So once again, I think you will have to look into Mystery CI channel and look for inspiration on which kind of items you would want to add. You also can get in touch with Sangram publicly and help him prepare the agenda item. So I think that would be helpful for folks looking for areas other than just the sites, or let's say assistant or UI UX. But I think for today, this is it for all the newcomers. We will now be following standing agenda items, and we usually cover MDX migration and catalog, and then system documentation, which are recurring item that we discuss. For MDX migration and system documentation, I wonder if Sudhanshu will be covering these.
Sure. Okay, first I'll talk about Systent, then we'll come to MDX. So Systent is basically Layer 5's in-house design system. So we currently follow our design system, any components or any theme based on this design system called Systent, right? So if you go to this particular Layer 5 sites and project assistant, you'll get about all the introductions, like what this about, what the components are. You might see there are less components out there. I'll go to the GitHub and show you a few issues that you can add bunch of more. So basically, there is a dedicated repo for this, which is Systent, and these all components are written basically on TypeScript, right? So currently, Systent documentation, which we are like all the contributors are assigned. Some of them are assigned but didn't progress as well. So we need to work on this, adding document and more documentation, more components out there, and there are pretty much more required. So if you go to layer 5 repo, I'll just quickly go to it and issues, and if you just change the label to Systent. Okay, so there are all system related issues. Like for example, if you want to add a switch component, which will go to this basically like them only, like tooltip. There will be a switch component coming up here. And this is pretty straightforward because we use MUI under the hood. So the documentation shouldn't be the copy of exact MUI, but should reflect, and reference should be coming from the MUI. So it is pretty much straightforward. You have to just add 3 sections like overview, what guidance you want to provide, and a simple typical code which will be there. I think that is under process. Okay, so I'll go to town. Yeah, so there will be a basic typical code which user or any contributor will copy and use it in the project. So basically, there are all those components listed out there, issues, and they're pretty much straightforward to add those. So if you see any assigned issues, so they might be just assigned and didn't progress as well. So it's time for you to get grasp on these components, because this component is basically you use most of the project under layer 5, right? So it will help you to understand the code base more clearly when you add these components and work on this. Particularly, pretty much you will understand how the front end works with the Next.js and all. So yeah, this is all about system documentation. I'll get later on this next quick demonstration is like how you'll add make changes inside system and how you can test locally. So we'll get to that later on in this meet. And other than that, there is a topic which is MDX. So a few months back, we worked on upgrading the Gatsby version, and there were much dependency upgrades were made. Which was left behind was this MDX. And MDX is basically, if you go to one of the in the layer 5 and resources page. So whatever you see here, like articles, blogs, events, these are all basically hard-coded MDX files which are being exported as a React component, right? So how this is done using the one of the plugin of Gatsby MDX, right? So which is running on older version V2, and it's required to, I guess, to upgrade. It's running on V3, sorry, V2 or V3. So, yeah, it's running on V3. So it doesn't, now we have to move to 5 because which is the latest version, not 4, 5. So, and also internally there will be a change in React, not the React, which is the original React, which is already running on the team. There is a MDX React, another plugin, like another dependency, which also upgrade within itself, and the MDX. So this is a work I was working on, but it's been halted for a month, I guess, because I was busy in another work. So if anybody want to chime in and work on it, give like any issues or like any feedback you have, feel free to add in this and try to solve if you want to. Because if you are seeing 300 file changes, because this is all about the MDX files. And if I go to here, like what's the blocker was there last I worked on, is that the build was not working. Why the build was not working? Because due to the YAML syntax. So if I go to one of the pages, I think we have time. So I will quickly able to share it. So all the changes like the MDX files are under collections. So if I go to the blog, they are being modularized as the year. And yeah. So if you go to one of this page, and you can see there is a YAML front matter over here. And this front matter like fails to build in the recent upgrade of Gatsby plugin MDX. And it's keep on giving issues like this syntax is wrong, this syntax is wrong. So that's why that over time it didn't get progress. So yeah, basically this is the front matter of the YAML one, and it is a YAML the React component which you can use in the MDX itself. So yeah, if you want to work on it, if you want to see how the things like published through MDX to a React component, these are all the MDX files under collections, and yeah, they have been exported as a React component. So this was for MDX. So if anybody has any questions or feedback, I'll wait for a few seconds. Okay, I think no one is. Okay. I think this was it. If you have any questions, you can ask related to Assistant. You can ask in UX channel of Meshri. And yeah, related to MDX, feel free to add any feedback in the PR itself, or if you want to work ahead, want to create something from the scratch, you are feel free to chime in. Okay, I
So
think
the
next,
one
yeah,
one question, Sudhanshu, like how much work has been left, like migrating the MDX version?
the work is only left is to pass this build, like the proper YAML syntax. It's been failing. So actually, the main kind of breaking changes has been already done here, and it's been coming from Randy's like last year, and I've been at fixed all the merge conflicts, and now it's again been came here because so main work is to pass the build which is coming due to YAML syntax, and and primarily we wouldn't want to change 1300 files here. Actually, I just showed you one file which I'll again go. So see collections, yeah. So this integrations, basically all Meshes integration. These are the data which I think changes at nightly basis. And this syntax formation is coming from, I think, meshry-ctl command. We can explain more better. So this syntax basically from here to here is defined in Meshry repo itself in the meshry-ctl. So we want to change that thing directly through meshry-ctl so that we didn't change like these so much of files, 1300 files. So it will be a change at once in meshry-ctl, and it will be get published at the night, and all the file will changes. But we can assure that change only when we successfully build this PR or like this MDX plugin. So we'll get assured that yeah, this syntax is working now. We can directly push from meshry-ctl to here. Otherwise, if we change anything to there, it might get the production fields. We want to get ensured first from layer 5 itself that yeah, build passes, this syntax works, every configuration works. Then we go to the meshry-ctl, change the command over there, how the format over there, and so we can reduce the number of file changes. So yeah, but our primary is to how to make the build pass. There would be some changes required, some linting, prettier required. So that's the main blocker, that thing left. Okay, I think we can come to the quick discussion later on. I think if Vivek has something to share about catalog things, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sudhanshu. Yeah, so hopefully my screen is visible. Basically, the requirement that I think Sudhanshu has for the MDX plugin is to change that components array syntax in YAML to this one. So this is another syntax in YAML, in which arrays are supported, array elements are supported. So I think changing to this format helps, and that can be done through meshry-ctl because all the integration files are published from there. So this is a straightforward fix. Sudhanshu, like, have you ever tried building meshry-ctl? Like, do you try publishing meshry-ctl? These integrations from there directly and trying building the site?
No, I tried to direct first get assured from here on. Then I was thinking to make changes anything over there, but it didn't get processed here on, so I didn't check from meshry-ctl perspective.
Okay, so last time, like I followed, what I will do, I will run it locally, meshry-ctl, I'll done that locally, and I'll push all these integration
Yeah, sure.
files with these changes then for testing, and if that works, then we can. So yeah, I'll take some time to send that, PR in layer 5 later today that you can use to check. So thanks a lot, Sudhanshu, for sharing updates. All right, I'll quickly talk about what's catalog. And in fact, we have one update on catalog from Fahim, who is also hopefully in the call. But I'll quickly talk about what it is and how you can access it. Let me take this and share you all to check if it's loading for you or not. But yeah, there's a couple of places where we have cloud native catalog, which consists of various cloud native constructs such as designs, models, filters, and very soon policies. let's talk about design. So you can think of it as, cloud infrastructure in form of design. So all these, if I, filter on designs, you will see many user published and also published by maintainers designs. If we quickly take a look at this AWS RDS controller, it's a piece of infrastructure that is in form of a design that you can actually play around in a visual designer tool to take a look at what the component are, configure the various settings just as you would do through a command line YAML configuration files. So you can do that visually through a tool. And for accessing that, you simply can click on open in playground, and then it will load that environment where you can do all this sort of things with your infrastructure. So do take a look at it. I'll be sharing this link in chat with you all. And in fact, if you take a look at who was publisher for this particular design, it was Bhuminjay, contributor. So there's other detail about him too. Like you can take a look at all his designs that he published, and also the leaderboard around it. So yeah, this is loading perfectly fine. So this is another place where we have all the catalog items, and you also can take a look at various top performers. So if your design is doing really well, like it's checked by other contributors or community members, you also can get recognized for it. And some, there are other filters too that you can utilize to check out the designs that you may be interested into. So I think this is also something you can take a look at later. And yeah, hopefully now it makes sense, and like you're familiar what a catalog is. So in this particular section, we'll be talking about the update from Fahim. But for now, we'll be quickly taking this discussion from Sudhanshu about how to make changes in Systent and test things locally in Meshery. So Sudhanshu, are you all set?
Yeah, sure. Okay. You can see me code. Okay. Okay. So this is the main repo of Systent, and we all frequently get these questions that how do we change in Systent, and if we do such thing, add any component or update any things. So how to test things locally. So in this quick discussion, I'll not stretch this. Basically, I'll make a small change and build it and install it locally. So it will get help to know how you can make other major changes. So this is basically the site structure. If I go to source, if you can get all the directly basically naming meaningful, if you get see this is the assets, like all the images would be their normal images, which might be using for website later on. And this is the base component. So these base components are basically under MUI components, right? And we are using all those props and everything. And from these base components, we get to use our custom components. For example, if you go to Meshery Cloud, you can see the catalog cards, right? Or in layer 5 also, if you go, if I click one of the integrations, okay, I forgot where it is, but yeah, that's not issue. But yeah, any cards, catalog card, if you go to cloud or layer 5 integration, yes.
Look for Kubernetes integration. There will be a lot of cards.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, yeah, these are the cards. Basically, like you get to see these. Basically, these components are coming directly from Systent, right? And this is also used in Meshery. So these be custom components, which are like basically themed based on layer 5's branding and all the custom components like catalog card I showed you just now. There would be similarly chips, connection chips, or avatars, which you see over the navbar. So all those basically are the custom components out there. Error boundary when you get some errors. So the structure under custom components, you get to see all the custom made components. And under base, you will see all the components which used to make the custom components, right? So all the like buttons and alert, avatar, all the small things. And when you go to the next directory, which is, I'll just close this, yeah. Theme, yeah. So whatever theme you are using, if I, for example, in Meshery, this dark mode, light mode, how the dark light mode colors, when the mode changes, which color to present, everything is being defined over here, like in the system theming. And if I go to the palette, so you can see there is a two mode, dark and light, which is obviously the common thing. But it's been divided in a way that you can just use a single type, and you can pass to use like background default, and similarly it will be for the dark mode. So it's everything like from typography to theme, colors, everything is defined from this under single place, and you get to import and use it across other projects. So how you update any
I'm afraid, Sudhanshu, there's some audio issues from your side.
Okay, just as I close one thing. My resources are high, we didn't check. Okay. So if you go to Meshery, and this is when you come to environments, when you click, I'm taking one of the example. There are many things you can do. So you can see this transfer list, right? You can just click and move changes around there and save. So you can assign any connections to it. And similarly, that will be for workspace. So this is we call a transfer mode, right? So we can basically transfer from available to assigned. So you can assign this component here. So this is a transfer mode. If I want to, and this component is basically coming from system. If I want to change anything and see any changes has been done or not on the local purpose, then you can assure that yeah, things are working. So when you go to this custom component, you can clearly see a name called transfer model or transfer list, right? And under this, you can see this index transfer list.tsx. So everything is being defined over there. So if I want to test something like, for example, there is availabilities and crops used. And if I quickly go to again to the page, so I want to test like there should be something I can, for example, I want to add something text over there and anything like that. So my basic goal is to just explain how you can change anything and see the changes live on your local development. So I'll just add a small change, right? Yeah. And now I want to, I think you can see my the screen is just a second. Okay. Can you just confirm if you are able to see the terminal?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, great. So currently this is my
Something-
root folder. If I, yeah.
Just like at a checkpoint. So this is like whatever we are discussing right now is basically if there's any of our project that is using system component, and if we are modifying if we're modifying the system component and we want to be sure that that change is reflected into that particular page in our project. So you're demonstrating that, right?
Yeah, sure. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Basically to how to test things when you change anything and want to add anything in it, Meshery or Layer 5 or any project. So I just change a small edit a text. Now I'm in system root. If I just so yeah. Now in I'm system. So for a better side, you can first time you can just do npmi. So any dependency you are lacking or like forgot to download it, it will help you. So I'll skip that process, but it's a safer side you do it. Now your first thing is to you build the system, because that only the build it will bundle your changes, and basically you will install that particular thing only. So npm run build will just install all bundle any changes you have done or any things, any dependency changes you have done, and you will just build the system. Uh, it will take less than few seconds, so we'll just wait for that. Okay. Until it's done, I will go for the next step. So when it's successfully built, you have to just come to the main project. So for example, if I go to my project structure in my local, so I can show you basically how I am doing, right? So just a second. Yeah. So this is my Meshri repo, right? Meshri repository and Meshri folder. Here I want to add any like where I want to test my changes, because System also you can add test any changes, but you have to again add a component, React component. And it's a simple thing where you want to add a component, directly test over there. So here my system, right, in the same root folder, and I've just added anything or change anything over here. And I want to test in my, like add any, test my changes to this repo. So I come to Meshri and I will just npmi. Now, what's your path of the repo, right? For locally.
I want to save it.
For
To
mine
save this
is-
one, we have to go back to the command mode. For example, in the insert mode, if I'm pressing the W, it will type.
Yes, so Ari, feel free to unmute if you have any questions.
Okay, continuing. So I'll normally what we do, we install any package using the name, right? Like for example, if you are installing a package assistant, production assistant, so you can use directly like assistant. But here you are testing changes, so you'll not do that. You will just use the local path of your repo. So for me would be this. So basically, I'm testing anything over Meshri, so I'll come like to the root folder and just jump to the system. So this is how you like, it's a simple path, so it didn't need to be explained. So I'll just use this, and it's normal. Just a, okay, sorry, I have to go to first UI folder. Okay. Yeah. So normal, like I came to Meshri and just jump to direct to the system folder. This is my local repository or folder, I would say. So this is where you just change a normal installation. So anything you change, it's now on your local and you can directly test over there. So I'll run Meshri now, which is make UI for 3004 to test any UI changes. So this was like a simple change. If you also want to add any icons, so I just showed you the normal folder structure. So which will help you to understand, like for example, icons. I have to go to just a minute, yeah. So similarly, we have icons situated in system itself. There would be few icons more required. There are the important ones which are using from system. So there is a proper structure also defined for icons also. If you go, so there is a proper constant values defined. So you have to just add the SVG files and everything. You would use the props itself. And so, and similar, the way of testing things will be same as I showed you. So I hope you shouldn't take time, or else this is a normal change. I think it will take for a minute or so. So we could skip the process. Like it will run the simple 3000 port. You will go to that 3000 when it will run, and you could come to the same page. You will see changes over there. So that only matters how you test. Because I'll wait for this, then it will take the whole meeting. We couldn't discuss the agenda. So I'll get back when this is successfully run until we can process to next things. If it sounds good to you.
Sudhanshu, if you highlight that the command like the
Yeah.
npm run build watch command to not build every time where we make the changes, and so yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So as I told, like whenever do a single change, and like for example, any simple change, we have to run this npm run build. But once you run this npm I and local of your folder, you don't have to run this every time. You have to just run one time, and if you want to testing locally, but you don't have to commit. Just to ensure that you don't commit this npm I, like, because it will change the uh, folder structure path of your package in Meshdi. So if I just show you. So if I go to the package, yeah, so this will be changed to your local file. So you don't have to commit it. This is only for local development. So when you test your changes, everything's done. You just revert this process or revert this change, and you have to just install the original production server. So the normal process is when you change anything to System, you will raise a PR. You will wait for it to merge, and when it can merged, like in a few frequent days, there is a release of System. And after the release of System is done, then you will install the production System, and it will be merged on any other repo you are basically adding or changing things. So for testing purposes, I showed you that how you will install locally, but you don't have to commit this change. This is for your purpose to test things. Otherwise, you'd use the production System only after the release. So yeah, so basically we run this once npmi this System, but you have to run every time this build whenever you change anything to test in the System. So yeah, hopeful that should run now. But I will not wait for. I share the screenshot in Slack. Sorry, in the Zoom chat as it gets through. If anybody has any questions, or feel free to. We'll wait for a few seconds. Otherwise, we'll use this recording in documentation purposes.
Thanks a lot, Sudhanshu. So yeah, if you have any question around whatever we just discussed, you can ask, and Sudhanshu will be there to answer. In the meantime, we'll be quickly covering some of the agenda items that we have, and the first one is from Karan about fixing calendar meeting info. Do we have Karan on the call? Yeah, we do.
Yes, I'm
So
on.
Karan, if you don't mind sharing the screen.
Okay, so I had three things. So first was adding Lawrence as a member. So when he'll provide his bio, then this PR will be merged. The second one was fixing the calendar meeting table layout and the color theme. So before it was this way, like as you can see, layer 5 and WebAssembly, etc. things are not completely visible on the screen. And this was of a different color. So basically, I had a conversation with Lee here, and he said that there was a purpose for the different coloring, but like he doesn't recall it, and this wasn't the original color. So I reverted back to maintain the consistent look. So this is the pull request, and you can view the code changes. It is mergeable. So yeah.
Also, you were mentioning some responsive issues, right?
Yeah, the responsive issues were like fixed by some other commit. So by the time I started to fix this, I did not face that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one, and the other one is this was the issue that was discussed in the last website's call. So me and Madhavan took it up. Basically, the GSOC 2025 page and every other page had a particular had their own HTML pages. So we had to create a layout and other Markdown pages to modularize the code. So this is the I have converted the 2019 page successfully. These are the code changes. So I'll take you through them basically. So I basically created the repeated thing. Created it in the partials. Then I created a layout about the GSOC page. Then I converted all the Markdown files to the from the Markdown. I converted, sorry, from the HTML files, I converted them to the Markdown, and I created this regex thing because I wanted to, since it is not Markdown, it is YAML type structure written in Markdown. So it was difficult to extract the A tag and the href tag. So basically, this code replaces in the format of a href, URL, and label tag, so that it is rendering correctly. And just a second, I'll conversation. Um, no
Yeah,
idea
so
why it is.
Mahadevan,
Yeah, so
like for the links that are on the page, like for example, GSOC program page, and the link would generally be, you know, email to the mentor or their committee member profile, or link to GitHub issue where the project basically has the idea. And so for catching those links, you are using that Liquify, right?
yeah, exactly.
So I think we just simply can have a projects array, and as the element of that projects array in YAML, it's pretty much possible. We can have various project ideas with their different front matter variables. Like first would be project idea, second would be who all are maintainers, their emails, the upstream issue. You can take inspiration from the Markdown structure we have across this Meshri documentation, and
Okay.
then there's another system, Meshri.io site, which currently you are on. It also uses Jekyll. So we have example of how like we are using that much nested data. So I don't think you need that liquify.js to catch hrefs and anchor tags.
Oh,
And
all
then
right.
since you already have the layout, already have the layout, you can access that links and simply render them.
Okay, so I'll try that approach and give you an update next time. And these are the things that I've done till now. And the modularization of code, like splitting the layout into another snippets and responsiveness of the layout, that work will be carried on by Mahadevan. So yeah, that is all from my side today. So yeah.
That's great. Do you mind sharing the
Um,
links to the PRs? That
yeah,
would
I'll
help
share the
if
links. And sorry, I stopped sharing my screen. Does anyone have any feedback? So,
I think no one has no feedback for now, but if
yeah,
they do, they will be sounding off on the PR. So thanks a lot for your updates,
yeah,
Karan.
yeah.
Next up, Harsh, is Harsh on the call?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I was currently working on the issue where we have to deprecate the font awesome. So basically, we have to remove the dependency of the font awesome icons. So what I was doing basically, I have created some icons were missing from this Meshri repo. So what I did was I investigated which icons were missing. Then I created an issue that 5 to 6 icons were missing. I added those icons in this Systent repository, and then I was facing some issues to test them in my Meshri. So that point was cleared with the Sudhanshu few minutes ago. So I'm clear with it. I'm cleared with it. Now I will test it and make a PR for it. So this was all from my side. And there was I just want to ask one more thing to Amit, that I will be basically removing this all dependencies. So it might be a breaking change. So what can you please guide me? How should I do that?
So for just like wherever we use those library, just use the assistant library instead of those libraries. So if you completely remove like this, then there will be no breaking change.
Okay. Thank you, Amit, for your feedback.
Okay.
And there was one more thing that I also mentioned in the Slack channel, that we were not having basically any UI for seeing our icons. So I just added that particular point to Lee and to Vivek, you as well, that we should add a separate page basically, like we are having for our components, that where we can see all our icons.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, it was a plan. Like I guess earlier we used to use Storybook, but it didn't go well. So I think yeah, we have to add a separate section in layer 5 itself for icons.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It was all from my side.
Thanks a lot, Harsh, for your updates. So looks like we are done with these updates, like on the Layer 5 IO side. And next up, we'll be having updates on Mishri IO site. And the first update would be from Fahim on catalog. So Fahim, can you please go next, share your screen and tell us about your changes?
Yes, I will start. So this is the repo PR. We have already discussed about it. So only one thing was remaining, which you pointed out, the filter checkpoints. So this was a PR. We have already like discussed it in the core meetings. Everything about this. One thing that was missing that you pointed out was this filters. When we see on file view, these were not present in the PR. If we click, it will be here. This is the official website that shows. So these are added back and can use them. They are there. You can use them back. So they are added inside it.
Do we have like
Yeah,
any
okay.
horizontal overflow on the filters?
Oh, horizontal
Overflow,
on the
like
filter.
when the if you go,
Thing,
if you check for any technology, filter, if you select technology filter,
yeah, I think
and
it's
then
like
the
this.
AMD GPU one looks like it's. So we
Yeah,
just
it's
want to be
like
sure
this.
that it's not causing for the entire page to be, overflowing.
No, I don't think. Yeah, you can see that. It's like I use the exact same code that was present before on the website for the filters. It's exactly same.
If you click on any
You
of the
can use
designs, for example, simple Kubernetes pod or anyone.
If I click on any of the design,
Yeah, if you click on any of the designs, if you scroll down, like
these things are exactly the same that were present before
Yeah.
on the website.
Yep. So I know that it may not be your changes, but if you notice there is some overflow issue, if you go to the copy button that is there, copy download button, down
This?
below. Yep. So like if you can quickly toss a fix, that would be okay. And if not, then anyone, if they would volunteer, they can fix it up. So just something, to be aware of. And yeah, the pattern snapshot, that's also too big, I guess. So what you can do, you also can create an issue mentioning these two items.
I think for now we should merge this because Lee was asking for a very long time that we should merge this. Then we will look at these small
I'm
things.
suggesting the same. If you would help create an issue mentioning these two items, that way.
You got it.
Yeah, so let's go back to catalog page and see if anyone has any feedback. If you go to the catalog landing page, folks might not have seen that. Yeah. And if you also want to show right now what we have.
We have different for every page. Like for this one designs, we have this. It's exactly the same. Something changes, like the landing page was changed. For models, we are not having categories, but now we have the categories for models also. For filters, we don't need them because they're only this. So it's like this now. And for support designs, we need to include inside design, we need to include the models that we need. So now they are also there. For each design, the model that they're using, they are having that there. You can also go to that model also. So yeah, they were the updates for this PR on my site.
There are some. Yeah, Vivek, you can go ahead.
No, please go ahead. So I was asking for if anyone has any feedback.
Yeah. So in this page of the catalog, there are few extra padding between the whole text and the three cards. So can we decrease that padding or we can increase the padding on the that one below the card and above the card there are excess padding.
That they were like suggested by me. They were told that as this is the landing page, we should completely see this. They were added after the review.
Okay. Yeah. That was my suggestion.
Okay, should I stop? I will stop.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for your updates, Fahim. think we already covered this particular item from Karan. Next up would be this call for volunteers. So I'll be quickly taking the link and we'll share in chat. So many of you may already have set up Meshri UI locally, and I think this post is basically about writing a blog post describing various ways on how like folks can set it up locally and get it running. And so yeah, if you have if you have done the project, if you have set it up locally and you want to help write this blog post, comment and I'll be able to assign you that way. So yep, this I think should be straightforward, and you also can refer to the existing docs we have in Meshri documentation. That would also can be you may also add some changes, not exactly that, since it should also be having your input on how you did it yourself, but definitely you can include details from that docs that we have. So yep, the link is in chat for this particular item. So we covered all the things on Meshri.io. Next up, these are some template issues which are similar in nature, and they require, so like since all these issues have very detailed descriptions, I'm not going on to that, but basically they don't require you to make any code changes. You would be creating some starter templates that will be used by any visitor who uses the tools for the very first time. So once again, you can find the details into the issue. We don't have Falgun, neither do we have Jihan on the call, and I think we'll be skipping these items. But yeah, I'll be sharing both the links just in case if you take a look and have any feedback for them. And in the very end, this is just one item on docs, which is again about adding carousel, and I'll take a look if we have Aman on the call. Looks like we don't. So I'll go ahead by sharing the link. And looks like that is all for today's standing agenda items and as well as the topics. Before we end the call, I'll be quickly sharing about our community calendar. And I'll also be sharing this in the chat box. So just like this meeting is happening, every Monday on a weekly basis, we also have Meshri Dev Call that happens every Wednesday, where we talk about all things, related to cloud native Meshri, how it is deployed, its future roadmap, and many changes around it. Similarly, on second and fourth Thursday, we have bi-weekly CI/CD meeting. And this week too, we have this one particular call. We would want to jump on it if you are interested into automations and CI/CD pipelines, or let's say end-to-end testing. We also have bi-weekly CNCF tag network call, and on every Thursday we have newcomers meeting too. So, on this particular calendar page, you will find everything that is needed for you to be participating in those meetings, including the Slack channel where you would find messages related to that particular meeting minutes. So for example, for sites call, this is a meeting minute where you can write your name and also any item that you have. Similarly, for other meetings, you also can help prepare them by mentioning your items for that week. And then also like the meeting link and the YouTube link where you will find the recorded live stream. So in the beginning of the meeting, I said that this call is being live streamed. Yep, you can watch those playlists of the recorded live streams. So once again, those links you will also find through this particular page itself. So I already shared this link in chat, and I think that would be helpful to you. So with that, I think there's nothing more for us to discuss, and I will see you all on next development meeting on Meshri if you join. But yeah, thanks for participating and sharing your updates. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.